Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moam Down says that he's incredibly turned on by his justice minister. And to be clear, that's not hyperbole, that's literally the headline from North Shore News. And at first, I wondered if Mo simply hadn't been able to get any alone time with local sheep recently. But apparently, what's got Mo more aroused than Pierre at a fundraiser is the fact that this justice minister, Tim McLeod, recently put together a law that the Sask party says allows them to issue certificates to tell people that they don't need to worry about federal laws around owning things that go bang and the nightmares of grade schoolers and their parents. It's always good when your justice minister is pushing things that are probably illegal. And it's a wee bit tone deaf for Mo just a few weeks after Tumbler Ridge. But as we know from Mo, robbing people of their family members is his idea of a good night out. Because, sociopathy. But is Tim McLeod really the hottest justice minister in Canada? I spent a lot of time Googling these, so you better watch all the way through. We're going to compare him to all of the men, because I'm gay as hell, and also because BC's justice minister, I'm exclusively into dudes, and she's still so much more attractive than Tim. Anyway, back to the men. Let's start with Ontario's Doug Downey. Mo might not be wrong in this case. Turns out that turning a blind eye to your boss's rampant crime sure can age a guy. This is what you've got to look forward to, Tim, if you don't find some ethics. Next up, we've got Alberta's Mickey Emery, who, let's be honest, this is just a self-hating, feisty lesbian drag king. You can't tell me otherwise. What, you think he's just a socially awkward ginger man boy? It's 2026. We all know that when it comes to awful people in politics, there's always a much more convoluted and improbable backstory. Next, we've got PEI's Blois Thompson. That name. In fairness, he does look like somebody took an old baby and put them in a suit. So far, Mo hasn't been wrong. But next up is Manitoba's Matt Wiebe, and I'm going to be real with you. If I mocked this man's appearance in any way, there's a high risk of violence towards me from the bear chasers of Winnipeg, and I'm not sure that that would be the fun kind of violence. So I'm just going to say that Matt is a very handsome man, and I am 100% sure that he has his admirers. Now, before we get to our top contender, the penultimate justice minister, when ranked on my very objective tools, is federal justice minister Sean Fraser. Just look at him. That's a man who doesn't have to offer donors blowjobs. They offer him blowjobs. But hold on, there's one more male justice minister. Probably gonna say this wrong, but Simon Jolin Barrette. I don't know. I don't do French stuff well. I may not agree with a lot of what his party stands for, but this still just leaves me asking slow mo, are you drunk, dude? And it's Mo, so probably. But look at this man. I would. Without a doubt, I would. I don't know anything about him, and he's in politics, so he's probably a terrible person, but he's hot. But let's be honest, he's hot enough that I assume that there would be a high chance of postcoital identity theft, but I'd risk it. So yeah, just like with everything else, Scott Moe has no fucking clue what he's talking about. And lastly, a special mention to Newfoundland's Justice Minister, who seems to just be Rachel Dratch under a pseudonym.